linear inequalities. That means an equation with an inequality sign in it instead of an equal sign. Oh, that's just what I said. Okay, stop talking, please, and write this on your paper. Okay? How many solutions do you think there are? If I say x is less than 4, how many solutions do you think there are? Is there only one solution here?
No. I hope so.
There's actually many. Okay? So if I say x is less than 4, all of us in this room could think of a different number that makes that inequality true. Okay?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Right. Okay? So for an inequality, we're going to have many solutions. And it's going to make the inequality true. But when we're graphing these two lines, if you've been in Algebra 1 before, you may remember that this inequality gives us two things, Jameson. One is it tells us if it's a dotted or a solid line, meaning are we including all the points on that line or only points above or below that line. And then where are we shading? The shaded area means we're including all of those points in our solution. Okay, these are very important here. Circle the inequality, please. If it's greater than, should I put it in the drawer?
What? Wait, I never heard that.
Aaron, does it need to go in the drawer? Okay, put it away then. If it is a greater than and it does not have the equal sign, it's a dashed line and it shades just right this. Whoops. Right, shade above. Okay? It's only when you have the equal sign that it's a solid line. Okay, and I'll show you what that means in a second. If you have less than, is still a dotted line, except you are shading below. You need to have these. These are important. This is the next skill test. When you have an equal sign, the same rules apply for shading, but you have a solid line because of the equal sign. The equal sign makes that we're including all of those points along the line and then everything above it. Less than or equal to is a solid line, again because of the equal sign, and we're shading below. Make sure you get both, all of those, and then you don't need to write all of these words. Just shade below or shade above. And then I'll show you what that actually means. So you should all know how to graph this. Why is there talking? How do I graph this? We're still on the other side. How do I graph this line? Where do I start?
-4.
-4 on the y-axis. Whoa. Okay, where do I go from there? Close. What did you say? Up 2 over 1. Rise over the run. So up 2 over 1. Who's still talking? Quiet. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. My dots are not very nice because my pen is not being very nice. Okay, so look at the inequality here, and we need to look at our rules. Look at greater than. Is it a solid or a dashed line? Dashed line. So I just do like this.
Oh. Serious.
And greater than. Think about that in your mind. If it's greater than, is it going to shade all of these that are larger numbers or below? Above. So we're just going to go like this. It's shading. What that means, okay, the next phone that I see out is going to be in the cabinet.
Wait. Shade that.
Because it says greater than. Greater than is all the, if it was less than, it would be underneath. Okay, so I can pick any, Sam? I can pick any point in this shaded area, anywhere here, and it will make my inequality true. Okay, so let's pick 0, 0, because that's an easy one to pick. If I put a 0 in here, what's 2 times 0? What's 0 minus 4? -4. Is 0 greater than -4? Is that true? Yes. Okay. I can pick anything in the shaded area and it's a solution. Okay, I need you guys to stop talking.
She's insulting my food.
Okay, look at the bottom one. Where do I start on this equation? Inequality. +4 and put a dot. Please do that now on your paper. Put a dot on 4. Now what? Down 3, it's negative. Down 3 and to the right 4. Okay, now we're looking at the inequality. Says less than or equal to. If I have the equal sign right here, that makes it a solid line. And less than shades where? Above or below? Look over here if you're not sure. Below. Again, I can pick any point in the shaded area and it will make my inequality true. If I pick 0, 0 again, (0 plus 4 is 0 less than 4. Hello? Is 0 less than 4? Yes, it's true. Okay, please make sure you have this on your paper.
She does something wrong.
Anybody need more time? Okay.
two people that
So what do you think we can do? They're asking, does this ordered pair, is this ordered pair a solution of that inequality? What do you think we could do with that pair? Plug them in, right? We have an X and a Y. Okay, so I'm going to take out the Y and plug in a what? 2. I'm going to take out the X and plug in 1. Now if I just do the math, is 1, what's 1 minus 3? Negative 2. Is 2 greater than negative 2?
Yes.
Yes. So yes, this is a solution. If on your notes you just write yes, when you get to the test you'll have no idea why it's yes. Okay, what are we plugging in for the Y here? Negative 7. What are we plugging in for the X? Is negative 7 greater than negative 6? Don't let your brain trick you on this one.
No.
No. Okay? Now let's graph this next one. What number, what slope can I put in front of that X? A 1. So let's put 1 over 1 in front of the X.
Bothering me so much. No,
Yes,
like.
just for you. What did you mean?
You have to like push a button.
I did push a button.
I didn't see you push it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So where are we starting on this inequality to graph it? Negative 2. Put a dot on negative 2, please. Oh, it works now, Allie. Whew. Okay. Put a dot on negative 2, and then where do I go from there? Up 1 over 1. Okay? So you might have to flip to the other side. I'm looking at greater than. Does it have an equal sign? No. So it's a dashed line, dotted line. And greater than, where does greater than shade? Above or below? Above. Good.
It's so fun.
That's it. So if we want to find a solution to our inequality, we want to pick any point that's not on the line.
Negative 4, 4.
Okay, that's what you want to test. Let's plug that in. So if we negative 4, 4, if we plug in that negative 4 for the X and a 4 for the Y, is 4 greater than negative 6?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's just a way to test that you have the right area shaded. If it doesn't work, then you know you shaded the wrong way. Okay? Questions so far?
Are we taking a skills test today on this?
No.
Oh.
We have more instruction and practice to do.
Should we just cover up on each time?
Good, yeah, just to graph that and go from there. Yeah, that's what I intended on this. Cover up on it. Except it won't work on all of this.
This one's got a negative 2Y. Let me rearrange it.
It's okay though, you graph it, but then you have to use the test. Yeah, you might want to rearrange it.
Yeah. Okay, so these, does anybody remember the rule? Don't write this down, but if I had just if I have this, does anybody remember the rule what would I divide by to get x by itself here? -2. Does anybody remember what happens to the inequality if I divide by a negative? Yeah, it flips. So this would actually be less than -5, right? If I use the rule. So this creates a little bit of a problem because I have a negative in front of my y. It creates a little bit of a problem if we use the cover-up method, because your sign is going to be the wrong way. So let's rearrange this so that we get it to look like this. How would I get rid of this 5x? That would only get rid of the 5. What did you say?
Multiply by -5x.
No, I want to get rid of this whole thing, 5x, positive 5x. How do I get rid of it?
-x.
Subtract. Remember, I cannot put these together. The 10 is not a like term, and I still have a negative in front of the y. I want to have my x term in front, and I'm just hooking on the plus 10 to the back. Now what do I do with the -2? Divide. Now we divide. Yep. Make sure you do it on all 3 parts. And then what has to happen to my inequality because I divided by a negative? Yeah, you've got to flip it. Leave this as 5/2, but what happens to my sign? It becomes positive. And 10 divided by -2 is -5. If you use the cover-up method, you'd still get the x and y intercepts, which is fine. Except you might have a little trouble shading. So where do I start on this guy? -5. Put a dot. And where do I go from there? Up 5/2. Okay, so look at your inequality. Dotted or solid?
Dotted.
Dotted because we do not have an equal sign. That's a pretty straight line. And shade above or below? Less than, yeah, this way.